position. There's still two Arkea Samsic riders against two other riders, but I think they could have made that be a little bit trickier for everyone.
Connor Swift continues to lead, the defending champion. So a British rider in Connor Swift. Frenchman is Laurent Pichon. The Belgian, Florian Vermeersch, sitting at the back there for Lotto Soudal in the red and white. And then the Italian, Luca Mozzato for B&B Hotels KTM, the Italian riding for a French team. And glorious sunny conditions, Maggie.
Yeah, finally. I was just thinking, if I was Florian Vermeersch or Luca Mozzato here right now, I would not take a turn on those with those Arkea Samsic riders. I would just sit in the wheels there now and say, right, you got two riders up here, you ride, I'm not taking a turn, and just let them carry on with it, and then attack him in another 10 kilometers or so. But the problem is, obviously, that peloton, or whatever we should call it, the larger group that's chasing, they're not, well, they're 30 seconds behind them, so it's a decent sized gap, but it's not a race winning gap with 20 kilometers to go.
Four very strong riders here too, but not big winners amongst them really. Connor Swift, his win here last year was only the third win of his professional career. And Luca Mozzato and Florian Vermeersch, despite their excellent palmares, neither of them have won a pro race. Of course, Vermeersch last year, second at Paris-Roubaix, a real, well, as yet, career-defining ride for the 23-year-old, but yet to win his first professional race, the big, tall Belgian for Lotto Soudal. Could this be the day that he chalks off that first pro win? It certainly was a very impressive ride at Paris-Roubaix, just getting undone, of course, on the Roubaix Velodrome by Sonny Colbrelli last year, Maggie. But do you think we're looking in Vermeersch a potential future Paris-Roubaix winner?
Yeah, I think he's definitely got the right qualities as a bike rider to win that one in the future. But yeah, it's always difficult to look to look ahead and sort of predict any of these things, because there are so many riders through the years who've tried and tried and tried and never quite got that race. And you know, with the sort of classic specialists that we currently have in the peloton, and most notably the Dutch and the Belgians there with Van Aert and Van der Poel, you know, I think it's an era here now that is going to be very difficult to win that race.
Maggie, we were talking earlier about inside knowledge of the course, and Pichon here, who we look at on the front of this group, saying that just this past week he rode the whole of this course, as he nearly gets taken out by the motorbike there. Pichon saying he'd ridden the whole course, so he knows it inside out, the Breton rider. Back in 2004, when you won Paris-Roubaix, how much of that, was there any of the course that you hadn't ridden before, either in previous editions or in training?
No.
None of it. So you knew it well.
I knew everything. I'd done the whole course 3 times by the time I stood on the start line. And I'd done the cobblestone sections another 2 or 3 times, I think. When you say the whole course, Maggie, you mean you'd ridden the whole course, not in the right? Yeah, the whole thing. By yourself or with teammates, or? I'm just intrigued, you know. Well, with a motorbike.
Yeah. Wow.
I just needed to understand what the power uppers were going to be. You know, covering the cobblestone sectors, and understanding the physical aspects of what was required on the day. And the best way to do that really was to get motor paced for the majority of it, and you know, into some of the sectors as well, to hit them at the right sort of speed.
Hey, it's not over, because there are 3 or 4 riders still trying to get across. No, 1, 2, I think it's 2 sets of 2 trying to get across. One of them, I'm absolutely certain, is Morne van Niekerk of Saint-Michel Aubert 93, a guy who's been in the breakaway all day. He's not one of those 2 we can see in the background, but I think he's just round the corner in that orange Saint-Michel kit, or just behind them. What a great ride, as you said. So far, a real big step up.
You're right.
That is him as well, isn't it? There he is.
Yep.
Wow. Hey, do you know what? I think if he had a 183 on his back, I'm mistaken again, Maggie. That might be Joris Delavove, the Frenchman for the San Michel team. He's got his top hanging over it. There we go.
I think it was 183.
Both right. So another one of the San Michel riders now moving up to replace his South African teammate.
But there's another Arkea rider on his way. and the fast one at that.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is Hugo Hofstetter coming across in the company of Baptiste Plancart,
Mr.
if I'm
TRO
not
BRO
mistaken.
Leon.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, my man of the match last year, riding across, using the last few Ribinu to get across to the breakaway, and then still having a go in the sprint as well. Plancart, so impressive. He was second in 2019, third in 2021. He's got to complete that podium. And there's only one way he can do that, and that's by winning. There's the leading four. There's Plancart with Hofstetter. But the trouble is, Maggie, he's bringing with him a ridiculously fast finisher in Hofstetter, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. But at the same time, you know, for Baptiste Plancart, he needs to get back into the mix here and hope that he can do something in the final. Maybe, you know, at least beat one or two and get a podium out of it. And with that, yeah, unfortunately, he has to bring Hofstetter with him.
This is the four who lead, and then we have those two chasing. I've lost sight of where that Groupama FDG rider was. There was a blue kit of the French World Team, but they've been pretty mute so far today. Seen very little of them. And that is Baptiste Plancart.
Yeah.
Definitely. And Hofstetter just sitting on. Of course, Hofstetter won't need to do anything, Maggie, I presume, because he has two teammates up the road. He'll just sit there.
Yeah, and he's getting a nice ride up to the front here as well. If Plancart manages to get across, and if he doesn't, and Hofstetter feels that he's starting to sort of stagnate somewhat, and maybe just holding the gap and maybe starting to lose a second or two, then why not attack over the top of him and go clear and try and bridge it on your own.
That is exactly what he's doing, isn't it? Hofstetter's had a good crack there. I have to say, Baptiste Plancart not taking. He doesn't look so good in the corners.
Just using a bit of safety going around the corners. They're not taking too many risks.
Well, maybe it's because it's wet, but that's quite unlike what he did last year. Because last year, when he bridged across the gap to get into that breakaway that already had Connor Swift in it, he took all sorts of risks. But it was quite different conditions, much drier.
No, I think he's got a slow puncture.
Ah, right. Yeah, he's looking down, isn't he? Swift going again. Connor Swift just using the chance. Every time we get back on the road, he does it again, doesn't he? Another little dig at it.
Well, Vermeersch has got an issue as well.
Oh, yes. Yeah, he looks like he's rolling squares at the moment, doesn't he? Looking down, Vermeersch. Oh, dear. Two out. Plancart, as you say. Wheel change from neutral service there. That's the Shimano motorbike. Rear wheel by the looks of it, too.
Yep.
And this is going still in the Breton team's favour. RKM Samsic. Look at this. And Hofstetter comes straight through and immediately on the front. If they don't win this one, Maggie, something has gone badly wrong. And it's an Italian, Luca Mozzato, who might just spoil it for them. You're right. Look at that. Oh, dear me.
Rear wheel for him as well.
Oh. What a shame. What a shame. It was looking good, Vermeersch. Still time. Yeah. 15 kilometres.
Yeah, I would, if I was Arkea here, yeah, great. They got three up here now. They're in a phenomenal position to try and win this one. But Mozzato, I'd be a little bit worried about having him in the wheels the last 14 kilometers here now. They need to kind of try and send someone up the road on their own to make sure that they have the win. They can't just trust the sprint on this one.
No, and Luca Mozzato is a fast finisher as well. Good sprinter. He's yet another one of the riders in this leading group, though, who's yet to win a pro race, the Italian, the 24-year-old. But mixing it in fast finishes, he's very good at. He was very impressive in Paris Camembert. I brought viewers on the network just a few weeks ago as well, taking 8th place in that one. Again.
Got to remember, though, this sprint is not a fast sprint. It's an uphill fit. It's a power sprint. So it's whoever's got the legs at the end, really. You know, it's not like we're coming at 60 kilometers an hour and you're sprinting at high speed.
No. This is the finish line as well, because we're rising up to it now. They've come off Meschwell. We can hear already the cries coming from the finish line. They drag, as you say, Maggie, slightly round to the left, isn't it, up and over this finish. It's one that Connor Swift knows well from last year. He's launched his sprint very early once the climb really started to bite, and it is just a rise. He started sprinting not long after this point, just off this little bend here.
Yeah.
So Arkea Samsic fully in the driving seat. We're presuming Luca Mozzato will hang on. If anything happens to him, then we really are looking at a team time trial to the finish and decide it between themselves. That's if no one else can come back from behind. Can Florian Vermeersch come back? Ding, 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 1 lap to go. This is the short lap, though, 13.5 kilometres to go. But they have got to take in 3 more sectors, and Kera Dreon, the biggest of those. We've seen it already today. It's a really tough one. And going by the law of statistics, it's quite possible that one of even this 4 in the leading group still might yet get a puncture or a mechanical problem.
Yeah, there's always that you've got to take into account as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Hofstetter has been a useful addition so far. He's come through and do a long turn. Laurent Pichon is the one whose number you cannot see of Arkea Samsic at the front. The local man who's gone away with the piglet on the podium on 2 occasions in the last 4 years. He's in the yellow glasses of Arkea Samsic. The tallest figure of those Arkea Samsic riders is defending champion, the Yorkshireman Connor Swift. And then right at the back, Luca Mozzato in the B&B Hotels KTM kit, the Italian. And I'm looking back, Magnus, I can't see any chasers right now. It's a bit of a shame that we've lost people due to punctures and mechanicals, really. Look at their faces. What's the composition going to be in 13 kilometres' time? Luca Mozzato giving nothing away there as he sees Pichon looking back at him. Penny for his thoughts right now, Magnus. Oh,
complete poker face is required.
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually looking at a wheel change here for the Entourage Wanty Gobert team. Back into the sunshine. So pretty quickly we'll be on to Kerosven, the 1-star 800-metre sector. And Hugo Hofstetter is being used to do a lot of work. Understandably. Yeah, are we going to see Mozzato come through at all, Maggie?
I wouldn't if I was him. There's just no way that, you know, you sort of give them a turn. Sit on the back, wait for it, wait for that attack to come, make sure that you are straight on it, not giving anyone a centimetre to play with.
Well, he was 5th yesterday, just on the back wheel of Amaury Capiot, the Arkea Samsic rider at the Grand Prix Morbihan. So actually, of the riders in this breakaway, he was the best finisher at yesterday's round 8 of the Coupe de France. This is round 9, TRO BRO LEON with me, Jez Cox, alongside Magnus Backstead as we bring you the final little finishing lap here in L'Annalise. We're in the Finistère department of France, in Brittany, the region of Brittany, northwestern France, and now in the sunshine after what has been a rough old day in late spring, early summer in May here in Finistère, the end of the world. And this is a week where we're bringing you 2 big races from this region as well, because next weekend Magnus and I will be back to bring you the Tour du Finistère, using much of this region, taking in Brittany. A bit of a wider spread in that race too. That'll be a great one next Saturday for the next round of the Coupe de France. Right now though, all eyes focused on this next 10,000 metres. 4 riders in the lead, 3 Arkea Samsic, including last year's winner, the Yorkshireman Connor Swift, and 1 Italian who's looking to ruin the Breton team's day. I wonder what, if you were the director sportif now, Magnus, of the Arkea Samsic team, you're talking to these 3 guys in the lead, what would you be telling them? How do you split it between those 3? You know what I mean? Since the beginning, they've looked like they've been all in for Connor Swift.
Yeah, and I still think Connor is looking very strong out there. I would definitely put Connor to make a big attack on the next gravel sector, but only go if he can actually go clear alone. And if that doesn't come off, then they need to start attacking basically leaving Mozzato to chase after everything that goes. And yeah, if they can do that, oh, here we go, it comes to first attack.
Yeah, Laurent Pichon, the next of those to go. And this is going to force Mozzato to chase, of course. I guess that's the one time where they can get Mozzato working. If they don't, one of these three Arkea Samsic riders goes clear and wins. So every time any of those three attack, it's going to have to be Mozzato to chase, isn't it?
Yeah.
They do it enough times. Yeah. Mozzato is almost looking to Hofstede to go, come on then, mate, it's your turn now, let's go.
Well, that's the only way to do it, really, if you are a lone rider against three others. You got to expect that attack to come, and as soon as you cover one, you just ride looking back, waiting for the next one. Make sure that you're always on small gears so that you can react quickly, because the moment you end up having to take a bit of wind to get onto the wheel of that attack, then yeah, it's going to be very, very hard work.
They've got to keep pressing, though, because we're hearing around about 20, anywhere between 20 and 25 seconds, so that much bigger chasing group behind.
And that's playing into the hands of Mozzato. The fact that, it's 40 seconds there now to Group 2, according to this. So I don't know if there is anyone in between. We haven't seen any pictures of... all I know is that Lotte Sudal are chasing in the group, bigger group behind.
Yeah, we might pick up some of those pictures. Pro Cycling Stats reporting that Joris Delabove might still be there in between for Saint-Michel. Aubert 93. On to the next sector now. And this is... this should be Guyek now, this sector, unless I've lost count. No, it's not. It's Caradreon. This is the big E. This is the big one. 4-star, 1,600 metres. A lot of it tree-lined and properly grassy, Caradreon. We now have 2 sectors to go. This one and Mechuel. Mechuel is not so tough. This is by far the toughest. Finishes ramping uphill too, and it's actually net uphill throughout the sector or two. Oh, Connor Swift is in a bit of trouble here.
Yeah. He's not got the legs for this one.
No. Might be time to recover because it's a long sector, but let's look down on them now. There's about 8-10 bike lengths between our leading 3 and the defending champion, Connor Swift. It's actually the attacking that's done it to him by the looks of it at this point, the attacking between these sectors. And that looks like Plancart again, living life on the edge. Baptiste Plancart trying again to get back across to that leading group.
Yeah, that motorbike just didn't spot him coming there as well and started to take the corner, and luckily saw him just in time.
Right, Connor Swift getting back on. It was while Hugo Hofstetter, his teammate, was on the front driving hard. I don't know whether they knew that Connor Swift has been detached. This is proper cyclocross now, isn't it? Look at those conditions. Yeah. Boggy on that corner. It's wonderful, isn't it? It's got me thinking we need to work on Connor Swift and get him on a cyclocross bike this winter. I'd love to see him race some top-level cross, the British rider. Well, any of these riders, actually. The crossover now is a widely trodden path. Of course, it has been for many, many years. Connor Swift on the radio. Now, penny for his words. I wonder who he's talking to, whether it's back to the car or to his own teammates.
Both, I think, at that point. So just let him know how he's feeling and what's going on. So everyone can take stock of that.
So there's an awful lot of motorbikes and vehicles still behind these 4. Well, motorbikes specifically. So the gap can't be that small between them and the chasing group. Mozzato. Sorry, Maggie.
Mozzato is looking strong. He's responding to everything. Or is he going to be able to hold that one up?
Big dig by Hofstetter. Hugo Hofstetter, the Frenchman for Arkea Samsic. Big drive on the front, and he's distancing Connor Swift again. Swift was looking so good earlier today, and now he's really starting to swing, the Yorkshireman. But he's gritty. He'll try and wind his way back on. They've got a long drag up now through the farm to finish off this 1,600-metre Caradreon sector. The top is just over the top there. Swift might get back on. Actually, he's not the only one looking ragged. Laurent Pichon also looking like he's working very hard. Hugo Hofstetter is looking like one of the strongest in this leading group now.
Yeah, I got to hand it to Mozzato, though. He is really doing a great ride here, and is looking probably, together with Hofstetter, the strongest rider in here. So if I was Arkea Samsic here now, the sport director and riders, I would not feel particular. Oh, Pichon's got a problem.
Whoa. I don't know what's going on there, because he's looking for a bike, a wheel change. He might be looking for his own team car. That's gone badly wrong for Pichon. In fact, it looks like they've struggled to get a wheel off the bike. Oh, dearie me. Wheel. Oh, what timing. As you say, Maggie, it's only the front wheel as well. It shouldn't take that long. I think, actually, the neutral service mechanic there looked like he actually fell off the motorbike getting off it. Oh, it's the curse of that front axle as well, and it's swinging in the favour of Luca Mozzato. You're right, Maggie.
Yeah, Mozzato will be fairly happy with this here now, so he's obviously fancying his chances against Hofstetter, but at the same time, Hofstetter is fast in the sprint.
No disrespect to those men, but he's just had his front wheel changed by a clown. Literally, he was swearing. Those of you who saw it will know what I'm talking about. But wow, that was a mess, wasn't it? A proper mess. Oh, Hofstetter going clear as well, and he's getting clear of Mozzato. He's using the camera motorbike as a target. Hugo Hofstetter. He's looked so good since he bridged across to that. Can Mozzato hang on?
He's coming back.
Well, the Italian yet to win a pro race, and this is going to be an ideal opportunity. He's got 6 kilometres in which to sort this one out. But where's Connor Swift? Because Connor Swift looked like he was closing up. There he is. We know his legs are telling out. Can Connor Swift get back on?
He might be able to get back on. If he does, the timing of him getting back on, sit up just before you get back onto the wheel again, catch your breath for like just a second or two, and then just try and attack over the top of them, because these two are both on their knees here now. There is nothing left in their legs. It's just who's got the most head, you know, the mental strength at this point to win this one.
What an epic race. I hope you're enjoying this at home.
Mozzato kind of has to ride here now, though, as well, because he doesn't necessarily want Connor Swift to come back. Here we go, straight past him.
Oh, has he got the legs too, though, Maggie? He's on. He's on. You would want him to go straight past, wouldn't you? I just don't know if he's got it in him physically. He's slapped on the back of Hugo Hofstetter. He must know. Hofstetter is easily the fastest finisher of these three. On his day, in the right position, he's a world-class sprinter. And this is the chasing group from behind. It's not over for these guys yet either. Wow. Coming back together very late on. We've got just over 5 kilometres to go. And how many Arkea Samsic riders have we got in that group too? Joris Delabove is in there. There's a Citroën team rider in there too. Andreas Kron is the Lotto Soudal rider on the right there, just having a sip from his bottle.
I think they're playing the sprint here now. Connor is sacrificing everything that he's got here now to keep this group clear. Ooh, that was close again from Connor.
They've got another sector to come yet, and actually they've gapped them. Connor's going clear and Mozzato being forced to chase again. So in a way, him coming back is now playing back in the favour of Arkea Samsic. Hofstetter is definitely the fastest finisher of these three on paper. But a race like this is not written on paper, it's written on the gravelly, gritty, wet farm tracks of Brittany. And boy, have we seen it all happen today, Maggie. What an absolute epic we've watched.
And it's not sprinting as that, you know, the way in the normal term that we use when we're talking about sprinting. This is sprinting after a very, very hard bike race, and it comes down. It doesn't necessarily come down to who's the fastest. It just comes down to who's got anything left in their legs and can access that in one way or another.
Lotto Soudal trying to salvage this. Andreas Kron and I think Brent Van Meer was in there as well. I don't know if he's still there now. Arkea Samsic will just cover moves back there. They don't really need to do anything. And as you say, Maggie, Connor Swift, now that he is there, that little slap on the bottom of Hugo Hofstetter, enough to say, right, I'm all in for you now, let's do it. What's Arto? Trying to have a word there, maybe, with Hofstetter. There was a little bit, or at least a look. If it wasn't a word, it was a look. The Italian, as we look at him right now, in those slightly changed colours, the mostly white with dark green of B&B Hotels KTM, yet to get a win as a pro rider. This man, though, with 3 to his name, including the British Road Race Championships, and this race 1 year ago, Connor Swift. Now, big, long lead out for this man, Hugo Hofstetter. And get a look at the slow-mo. Ooh. What does that mean, Maggie?
Are you coming through? No, I'm not.
Beautiful. Thank you for the translation. You almost sound like you've worked that one yourself before. No.
Once or twice.
No chance, mate. No chance. But they don't need to right now because they've got the big Yorkshire engine of Connor Swift on the front. Swift, if they stay like this, guaranteed a place on the podium for the 2nd year in a row. They've got to keep it clear of this group, though, if that's to happen. Cedric Bullen sat on the back of this group. Joris Delabove just in front of him. There is another Group Armour FDG rider in there. I'm being told on Twitter that it might be young Sam Watson, the 20-year-old. I've got to pick that out for myself, but I think he might be in that group. What is that gap? I wouldn't mind seeing it visually. Whenever we're told anything under a minute, Maggie, I don't trust it till I see it.
No.
Particularly in terrain like this, where we gain and lose so much and lose so little. This is the last sector. The last one, the 29th of this race, Mechuel. It's mostly tree-lined. There's a nice crowd at the far end of it as well. This is that left-hander. This is really the most testing part of it, getting through this corner. Slight drag up after it too. Connor Swift leads into it. Luca Mozzato in the Archaea sandwich. After all the attacking we've seen Connor Swift do today, and talking of attacking, there's more attacks coming from behind. Round about 30 seconds, this group behind that leading group, which is being drawn along by Connor Swift. Andreas Kron going again. Lotto Soudal desperate to make something of this today and get themselves at least on the podium.
Yeah, they're certainly not hanging around here now. It's full commitment to try and catch these guys.
2K to go, Magnus. Who's going to win? Come on.
I'm gonna go with Hofstetter just because I think Archaea Samsic have ridden such a brilliant race. They kind of deserve to win it, but. Yeah, Mozzato as well. He's been nothing short of brilliant as well. Yeah. But I'm going with Hofstetter.
I can't disagree. I'm going to go with you if I'm allowed to do that. I'm agreeing. I can't see. No, I agree. I can't see anything else happening really. Connor Swift is now doing so much, and we know that he was on the edge anyway. He was properly ragged. Oh gosh, if the group comes back from behind, then anything could happen because there's riders in there we've not even mentioned yet. So let's see. Let's see. But yeah, everything points to Hofstetter. He's such a fast finisher, despite the fact that it's a long drag.
And he prefers the slightly uphill finishes as well.
We're off the last sector. Mechuel done. Our chasing group is still on Mechuel, but they'll be off it and onto the road. We have that left-hander at the sort of T-junction, which is about 500-600 metres. It brings us to the sloping, gradually left-hand bend to the finish line. Here is the man in the box seat. Hugo Hofstetter, definitely the fastest finisher of these three, and probably the fastest finisher, one of the fastest finishers in the race. But showing he goes very well on testing technical terrain too, as does this man, as we know.
Yeah, it's definitely got to come down to these three here now, so I expect a sprint between Mozzato and Hofstetter, and it's just a question of whether Connor Swift can hold on as well for that third spot, because it's not an easy last 500 meters uphill, and if they start sprinting early, anything can happen there as well.
Well, boy, is Hofstetter lucky that he's got Connor Swift back on, because if Swift hadn't got back on, it would have been left to these two, and I'm pretty certain they'd have been absorbed from behind, because it's that strength in numbers, isn't it? That's the left-hand turn. So a little drop into this little descent here now, and then from that point on, the road is climbing and slightly ramping round as well. Connor Swift is going to keep going all the way to the line. Mozzato already looking over his shoulder. Now, if he does that enough, he's going to be opening up a gap to Connor Swift. He knows exactly what game is being played here. Hugo Hofstetter waiting. Connor Swift will just keep driving. He's just going to keep pushing. Hofstetter's not going to wait, though. Hofstetter already opening up. Has Mozzato got anything left to beat Hugo Hofstetter, who's gone very early? This is about where Connor Swift went last year. Swift is done and he's gone. Hugo Hofstetter opening for the line. Can Luca Mozzato do anything? The Italian is on the wheel, but it's looking like Hugo Hofstetter has taken it for the TRO BRO Leon for the second year in a row. Arkea Samsic celebrate. Connor Swift 1 year ago was the winner in such a close finale, and he's on the podium in third today. Hugo Hofstetter taking the win. Andreas Kron and the Lotto Soudal boys going to try and lead it out. Is that Arnaud Delis still there? I'm not sure, it wasn't there. And this is a group of 6 or 7 still sprinting out to the line. It is Arnaud Delis, isn't it? Sprinting out to take 4th place. And I think that might be Sam Watson taking 5th as well, the FDG rider, the youngster, the 20-year-old. He was in that group, if I'm not mistaken. Hugo Hofstetter delighted, absolutely delighted with that. Great win for him. And it's his 3rd pro win for a rider who's now become a regular feature at the sharp end of fast finishes. He's been hinting at this since the beginning of this season, actually. He's had a few podium places in big races. But here, in a point pro race, Hugo Hofstetter gets to show what he's great at. Mozzato gave it everything he had, though, didn't he, Maggie?
Yeah, he did. I mean, the only thing he could have done was open up the sprint before Hofstetter, but, you know, at the end of the day, Hofstetter looked like he had the legs on Mozzato. And it was... You know, it was a gutsy move by Hofstetter to go as early as he did. So he clearly must have felt that he still had some legs, and was able to drag that all the way to the line. But what a race by Arkea Samsic. You got to take your hat off to the whole team. That's been, impeccable team racing.
209.5 incredible kilometres. I think that's one of the best races I've commentated on all season, Maggie. It was just epic. It was nuts, wasn't it? From the minute we went on air, it was like, okay, there's riders OTB, there's someone in the ditch, camera motorbike down, there's gravel everywhere, it's hacking with rain. We've seen it all, and then we've come into the sunshine and been treated to an electric finale as well. Really good one. It was Arnaud Delis, there he is. Yeah. Great finish by him. And showing his class on the tough stuff too.
Yeah, he's done a couple of those rides this year already, Arnaud Delis. You know, he can do more than just sprint, that's for sure.
Let's see if we can grab a few words with Hofstetter, who's understandably emotional. His 3rd pro win, and a big one too, in a big classic race that is so well followed around the world. There is the